Hello hunters, welcome back to Restless Hill Cemetery. I'm going to show you how I made my twitching Groundbreaker as a filler prop for the background. Let's go check out the build.
Join the fright!
Here's the supplies we're going to use for the twitching Groundbreaker. We're going to use a 1x8 by about 20 inches long. We're going to use a 1/2 inch PVC pipe, 16 inches long, and we're going to flatten it down on the end. We're going to heat this up and we're going to squeeze it, and this is about an 1.5 inch area that's squeezed flat. We're going to use a 5-inch piece of 1/2 inch PVC. That is going to go along with the 45-degree 1/2 inch connector. We're also going to use a shallow electrical box. You can get it at Home Depot. The corresponding plate that goes with it, cover plate. We're going to use some hinges. We're going to use 1.5 inches, but we're going to add an extra hole in here for the PVC to mount onto. Also got a package of 8 30-seconds by 3/4 inch long nuts and bolts. You're also going to grab one of your favorite skulls or any skull that will work for it. This just happens to be one I have left over that's just all styrofoam. Then you're also going to get a rib cage of sorts. So you can either make your own, or in my case I have one left over from a blow mold skeleton. You can also get a rib cage off of one of the Home Depot skeletons as well. That works. We're also going to get a piece of 1x4, about 3 to 4 inches long, just scrap. I also have another 1x2, 2 pieces here. You can also do a 2x2. This is about 3 inches long. And then we're also going to get some cord, some 2-prong or 2-wire cord. This is going to be left over from an appliance that I had, like a vacuum cleaner. But what you're going to need is at least 16 gauge wire. You can use the lamp cord, so that way you've got cord to match up to your motors, and it has to be 2-prong. You can't use a 3-prong. And then that's it. Let's get to the build. So to begin, we're going to take these 2 pieces of 1x2 or your 2x2, and we're going to mount these here at the very end. This is going to give us a little extra height, so that way when we have our pipe on here, it gives us a little more height for the movement of the rib cage that we're planning on. Next, we're going to mount our 1.5 inch hinge. With one side, we're going to add an extra hole. So we have our extra hole drilled out, and you want to make sure that the orientation of this hinge is going to be in its full closed position. So you're going to mount it here, and then the PVC is going to be on this side. So we marked the holes where we're going to drill on the PVC. Let's go get that done. So now I've marked where I'm going to put the hinge at. I'm going to do it at a slight angle, so that way it's going to have a little more of an angle towards the other corner. Let's get this mounted up. So now, once you got the hinge onto the PVC, it should look like this. Now with it correctly mounted, it should look like this. So now at this point, you're going to test fit or attach your rib cage to the PVC pipe. And you want to check to see if you have enough at the end for your PVC 45-degree coupler, and then down here enough for a little bit of play. I'm going to end up putting a screw down here as like a stop, so that way I still have some movement, but it's not going to go any further than I need to. So with the screw added for the stop, for mine it's going to look like this. got that stop right there. So I still have room, still have movement, but it's not going to go any further. Now we're going to figure out the placing for the motor mounting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 1x4 on the edge of the 1x8, and I'm going to screw it into the side here, and then I'm going to attach the electrical box to this 1x4. Basically in the center here, for where the neck joint is going to be at, it's about 3.5 inches down there, so that's where you're going to put your main motor spindle at, is to match up with that. Taking a closer look, unfortunately I ran out of 2-inch screws, but it should be mounted to the side of the board, such as like this. So I ended up using some brad nails in my last 2-inch screw. And on the inside I mounted it using 3/4 inch screws. Next part is we're going to mount the small RPM motor to the cover plate, because that's going to be the best way to get it into the shallow box. So we're going to line it up, and then we're going to drill out for the spindle, and then we're going to drill a couple holes to mount it through the screw holes here. Now I did something similar with the dangling Dan, so you can also go back to that video, and I believe it's part 2 where it shows a little more close up of the shallow box and how I mounted it to that plate. On the back side of the cover plate, I marked where I'm going to put the spindle at, and that's where I'm going to drill through for it. So take that as a reference of where I position mine. So roughly working the plastic, you're going to end up with roughly about a 1/2 inch hole. But I would suggest starting out small so that way you can make adjustments as needed. Otherwise, if you get too far up, then you're going to have to notch more for the motor to fit along this edge here. So again, you're making accommodation for this little lip right there. Now the motor is all mounted up using the 2 screws and the lock nuts in place. And then now we can actually go ahead and add it on to the electrical box. Excuse the noise in the background, I've got my 3D printer going on right now. But at this point here, we're going to feed the wire through this access point here. You're just going to take a flathead screwdriver, then you're going to open it up a little bit. You're not going to break the tab, but just enough to get it open for the wires to go through. Now once you got the lid on in place, the plate, the wire coming out, you do have a little bit of openings here on the side, so you can actually use some caulking or hot glue, hot melt glue, even on the other side here. You get those sealed up for a little more weatherproofing on it. To connect the wires, I use these Wago lever nuts. Now we're just going to wrap them up with some electrical tape, call it done. Okay, now that we got the wires through the electrical box, I decided I was going to mount the box a little bit higher. So now I've given it about a 1/2 inch height off the board. The next part is we're going to do is you want to drill a 5/32 hole through the spindle and then put the 8/32 machine screw through it. Then you can add your arm. In this case, I went 1.5 inch, 1 3/4 length, and then I've got it tied in with another 8 3/4, 8/32, and I've got it connected to the other part of the linkage up here. So now you have this whole system all now connected. The mechanism should make it look like he's trying to sit up. And when it gets to the full height, the rib cage tilts out like he's going to try to reach out. The next part is we're actually going to add on an arm over here that's going to move as well with it. Now I'm going to add the arm. Basically, this is a leftover from the blow mold skeleton, which we're also using the rib cage from. Basic skeleton hand here, I've got it glued to the end. I'm also going to use a piece of 1/2 inch PEX, and I bent it to the arm configuration how I want it to bend. We're going to position this through the screw hole about 1.25 inches away from the edge of the board. It's going to sit down with the nut, then we're going to do the pipe, screw through, or I should say we'll add this as a way to counteract any kind of extra wobbling. Then this 8/32 bolt is going to be fastened to this wire going to the whole mech. So basically this motor is going to be doing 2 actions. It's going to move the arm, and then it's going to move the torso up and down. So let me put it together and I'll show you. I think it's time to get them painted up, get them outside for display.